What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 6. This is the dismantle video. As the name implies, I'm going to be taking off a lot of parts of this truck to get the SR in. However, if you see me taking off a whole bunch of stuff that looks unrelated, fear not. It's just because I have other parts coming in and I need to get all the stuff off this truck anyways. So yeah, I have some stuff coming in from Bonnie that I'm really excited about. That'll be another episode. First thing before I pull this KA out, I need to measure its angles and stuff so that way I can sure the SR is the right height before I make the brackets. Getting rid of the chrome on the truck, pulling out this decrepit interior. I'm gonna be doing a full race interior on this. So yeah, a lot of stuff going on. Gotta get cracking. What's gonna be just a few minutes for you is gonna be several hours for me. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got to a point that I wanted to address. On this truck, I'm going to be cutting the core support right here and right here. You do not have to do that. So if you're just pulling your engine out and putting another engine in, no big deal. But I'm going to be taking this engine in and out probably like 10 times while I'm doing the mounts and making sure everything fits up. So yeah, it's a little bit necessary for me, and I'll figure out some kind of little strap assembly that I want to put up there to make it nice and rigid again. But yeah, so I'm gonna get cracking. So we've now arrived at the fun part of the video, at least in my opinion, and that's going to be getting our reference points. So that way when I drop in the SR, I know about where it's going to sit height-wise. So right here, I have it on the truck. The truck's on jack stands, okay? So the truck's point in space isn't going to change. We're going to use this as a reference point. You might be wondering, why is it sitting right here? Why do I even care about this? Well, I want to make sure that when I pull this engine out and I go to put the other one in, I want to make sure that this doesn't get deflected up or down when the engine comes out, because there's some weight obviously with the engine, and that's pushing down the front end. And the second I take it out, it's going to move it back up, and I want to be able to compensate for that. So 6.9 degrees push down, and now we're going to go to the valve cover. And since this valve cover is actually really flat, the same as the head, it's gonna be close enough for what we're looking to do. So let's move this thing around. Sometimes it just takes a second. Yeah, that's what I thought. So 6.3 degrees, just move it around. Yeah, okay, so 6.3 degrees. It should be close, yeah. Okay, so we know that the way the truck's sitting right now, where it's at in the universe, the engine has about a 6.3 degree up tilt. So the engine's sitting canted back like that. So that's what we're gonna try to match with the SR. And some of you guys might be a little confused. You might be like, well, aren't you supposed to get everything perfectly level and all that stuff? Yes. If I didn't have any reference points to go off of and I was starting completely from scratch, absolutely. You would have to measure everything out, do some math and all that stuff. But luckily for me, I don't have to because I already have a locating reference point. Because as I said in a previous video, we're using the KA24's transmission. The only difference is we're bolting the SR bell housing to it. The length from here to here is identical to the KA. So that doesn't change the position of locating the engine. So the second I bolt the bell housing onto the KA transmission and I bolt the KA transmission back into the truck, that's automatically going to tell me where the SR is going to sit. So it's going to sit exactly the same as where this KA is sitting. So that's going to locate this position, and it's also going to help me locate this position, right? But what we're just making sure is that we're getting the height correct on the nose of the engine. So hopefully that wasn't confusing. I try to articulate that as best as I can. And for stuff like this, you don't need that level of granularity. You don't need to get into like ISO centers and stuff like that, like imaginary points in space where everything's referenced off of. You just don't need it. You know, even if you're about a degree or so off, things are still going to be fine. But we're gonna try to get it to that 6.3 degrees. That way we know it's right on the money. So let's get cracking. So the engine is out, finally. Took all day, but here we are. All the room for the activities right there. That's gonna be fun. Need to clean that all up. Tore some of the interior out, not too much, but enough to get started and start cleaning all this up, taking the rest out. I didn't get to remove the bed tonight. It's kind of acting as storage too, but I'll get to that later. Well, this is cool. Managed to keep everything really complete on this engine, so this will make for a really good engine weight video tomorrow. Everything's on it, so yeah, I'll get to doing that tomorrow, measure it, everything. But yeah, that's gonna conclude this episode. I didn't run into any real problems. I'm really excited. Come Monday, I'll order the rear sump pan, and that way I can make sure that that actually works and make any modifications to it if necessary. But yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed watching the time lapse. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.